Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's September 5th, 2025. It's going to be about 30 degrees today with the humidity. And we're traveling. We're doing some other things. So I'm going to get this video off and edited and out into the world so you guys can see it. And then I'm getting in the car at the same time and driving off to the next destination. So you will have seen this week while I've been on vacation, I've been doing a lot of stuff. Shanda and I went for a 1,000-kilometer drive around southwestern New Brunswick and took in a lot of sights, put a video out on that. Yesterday, I drove down to Halifax, went to a Porsche Club show and shine, and then drove back the same day. So that video is out as well. Last weekend, we did some things with the Tatamagusha car show, and I went to Summerside, I think, one day. I've lost track of all the places that I've gone. Well, I am going back today to Halifax again, this time with Shanda. And so we're going to see something else and do something else. So I'll keep you posted on those things. But that being said, that means that tomorrow's live stream will not happen tomorrow. It will happen on Sunday because I'm traveling. So if you want to tune in on Sunday at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, that's when the live stream will be. I will put out a reminder that it will be on Sunday as well. For those of you that can't make it on Sunday, maybe you'll watch in the replay. But thank you to everybody last week who was able to watch on Sunday, as we had to move it last week too because I was traveling. Don't worry, my vacation is almost at an end and things will get back to normal again. All right, that being said, when I was traveling, we went to the Macadam train station. I probably could do a whole video on that, and I've got extra footage I haven't shown yet, so I may do more about it. But this is the Macadam train station here in New Brunswick, and a more recent picture of it too. So I got a couple postcards of that. This was also at a Macadam Park, some railway material there, and some Canada geese. Managed to pick up those postcards while I was there, so I wanted to show those to you. Also, make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave positive comments, you share with other people, you put the notification bell on so you don't miss out on anything. And this hype feature, apparently you can do it 3 times in the course of a week, and you can do it on any of the videos that come out during a 7-day period. So if a hype feature is something that you can do in your country, feel free to do it to help out the channel. Thank you so much. Okay, before I get into all the mail that came in this week, and Steve from Australia's Limerick, and Mindy from Nova Scotia's Dad Joke, and Postcrossing, Unicorn Gang. Let's talk about the Unicorn Gang. There is a video out there. There are actually 3 videos out there. One by me, one by Jilly B of Living Her Life Her Way, and one by Renee Lewis. All of those channels are Unicorn Gang members, and we all put out a video the same day, the same time, the same thumbnail, and talked about our expansion of the Unicorn Gang by 4 members and what you need to do to do that. If you want to be considered for new membership, you have till the end of October to get your application in. The first application has arrived, and so thank you to Hannah in Indiana for applying. I won't show what she has sent in because I don't want to skew any of the results, but I did want to let her know that the application's been received. So the first one is in. We'll see how many more we get before the end of October. So thank you for that. All right, let's get into this whack of mail that came this week. And we'll start with the official Postcrossing. How about this one here? It says World Postcard Day from Hong Kong. And it just says Happy Postcrossing basically on the back, and the date. And Chokin, I think, is the name of the person who sent it to me. Really nice stamp. I like how they kept the corner too, so you've got a stamp like that. So thank you so much. The next one comes from Korea. Some nice post boxes on here. And that comes from Haein. And they live in a small city in Korea. I won't post where exactly, but I do like the stamp and all the decorations. So thank you so much. I have one that came from Taiwan. This one was a little bit more unusual. It is a blank card. They've added 3 stickers to it, one of them being an airmail sticker. On the back, they haven't written anything other than the address and nice couple stamps there. But it is a postcard because it's postcard marked on the back, but just nothing on the front other than the stickers. So It's a first for me getting one of those. And it doesn't say who it's from. The next one, though, does. And this one comes from Russia. Comes from St. Petersburg. It says, I hope you'll enjoy this postcard and stamps. Very beautiful. It said, this postcard is from a Russian museum. It reminds me of my great-grandmother's house in Belarus, where I used to visit as a child. Although I haven't, although the upkeep wasn't the same as in the picture here. And she hasn't been there for over 10 years now, so I'm not sure what it would look like. But this comes from Daniel. And I love the fact that, nice stamps on there. But I like the fact that Daniel has added a very personal note about this and his experience with his great-grandmother's house. Give me a little bit of a glimpse into his life and what it must have been like as a child. So thank you so much, Daniel, for that. The next card I have comes from the U.S. It comes from South Carolina, to be exact. And it says, they would love to visit Canada one day. And this comes from Jackson. There's the forever stamp. Well, tell me anytime you like. We're always willing to have guests up this way. The next card I have comes from the state of New Jersey in the United States. And this comes from Joe. He lives in a small town in the north. I won't say exactly where, but about 45 minutes from New York City. He plays tennis, and he's learning the Basque language. And now I did send him a message and ask about what his connection was, and he has some family connections to the Basque area, and so he loves the culture, he loves the language, and so he's doing his best to keep connected with it. So that's wonderful. There's some nice stamps, really nice whale stamp there. Yeah. So thank you, Joe. The next card comes from Hong Kong. And at first I thought it was a card coming from Eric, because I get some mail from him on relatively frequently, but no, this doesn't. This comes from June. She's 19, and then she goes on to say that at the time of writing this card, she'd been sick and she'd thrown up, and there's a lot of detail in there, but hopefully she is feeling better now. And there's the stamp of Hong Kong. But I must admit, this is the first time I'd gotten a card with that kind of information about someone's day. So, June, I hope you're feeling better. The next card I got comes from China, and it comes from Xi'an. And her name, oh, I won't say her name, but she says Xi'an is a historic city famous worldwide for its Big Wild Goose Pagoda, the Terracotta Warriors, which I know about, and the Ming City Wall. There, the stamps, nice watermelon stamps. So Xi'an has all those things I didn't know other than the Terracotta Warriors. The next one was interesting. It comes from Sweden. And look at all the Swedish stamps that they have adorned the envelope with. So that was wonderful. Inside, there was this nice postcard talking about the Nobel Prize, because this is the City Hall in Stockholm, Sweden, where the Nobel Prize banquets are taking place every December. And the Nobel Prize Museum, there is a guide also included, which has English on there as well. So thank you so much. This comes from Solon. I appreciate the effort of putting all the stamps on the envelope and then adding details inside that not only match the postcard, but just gave some more information. So thank you so much. All right, that's it for official Postcrossing. I was quite pleased. Quite a few items this week that made a difference. Now let's get to some mystery. And the way why I say mystery is that I received this postcard, Happy Birthday. Now it's talking about the birthday for Postcrossing, the 20th anniversary. And it says, sending you this birthday card in honor of the 20th Postcrossing anniversary. Thank you for sharing your love of Postcrossing through YouTube. Now, the writing looks familiar, but it wasn't signed. And they included their new address, which I've covered up here, but I'm not sure who it is. So this postcard arrived at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. And it has the same washi tape as this one, but it also is not signed. So they talked about going to a youth conference, and there was 36,000 young people there. He says all of these things are on YouTube, but once again, not signed. So I am hoping that someone will reach out and let me know that this is them, so I can thank them for it. But yeah, who's moved, and so I can attach this new address to that person so I can respond. So thank you. And I think, like I said, I think they both come from the same person. If they don't, both people could respond to me and let me know. But the similarities in the dating, the addresses, the writing is it makes me believe it's the same person. That's my deductive reasoning. Now the next one is also a birthday card. Happy Postcrossing. This one comes from Lila in Maryland. I do know that. There are the stamps because she has put Lila over there, even though there's a bunch of signatures from all the Postcrossers and the yummy ice cream cone there too. So thank you for that. So I would encourage, even if we communicate all the time, please just put your name on it so my brain can register that this goes with this person. Sometimes they're very obvious, but I do appreciate the name being on cards if you can. The next card, a Doctor Who card. This comes from Lisa in Atlanta. And so she has done this, and she sent me 2 of the stamps celebrating 250 years of the U.S. Postal System. So I'm always enjoying getting those. Now, it says that there are, does it say on this card how many? There's 24 stamps that make up the full panel of the town. So it'll be interesting one day maybe to get them all and put them all together to see them as a unit. So thank you, Lisa, for that. The next, another Postcrossing meetup. This one comes from Christian in Vienna. And I am hoping that more than just he was at that meetup, but maybe he bought some blank cards. The stamp cancellations are always interesting. Maybe he got some blank cards and he just sent me one of those and put his stamp on it. So thank you, Christian. Okay, the next envelope comes from Mindy in Finland. Lovely Moomin stamp, lovely shape stamp. And this was an envelope she had been waiting to send me for a while, or had sent it. It was waiting for me to receive it, I should say. That it was sent at the start of August. So it's been about 5 weeks or so to get here. And so we have a meetup card at a pizza place. That looks really cool. Lots of people were there in attendance. She also sent me this one here. We've got some zoo animals, because she went to the zoo while she was there. And inside, she also sent a few stamps. Now, I'm going to show these stamps now because they're park stamps. And so the winner of the stamp of the month for August and parks, she wanted to include those stamps. There are a couple other stamps I'll show you. They're not park stamps, so they're not part of the giveaway. At least not this giveaway yet. Let's get it the right way. I don't have it the right way yet. There we go. Just get it to focus. That was a nice shape stamp. I like the jersey out the side. So I'm going to include those 3 stamps that she's included, or 4 stamps, whatever it was, in the giveaway. And the person who has won has now reached out. So I have their address. So that will all be in the mail for next week. I do have to take it to the post office and find out the exact postage it will be. So that's something I will do. So thank you, Mindy, for sending that and contributing to the giveaway. She wasn't done, though. This envelope arrived. Another beautiful stamp on there. Finland puts out some really nice stamps. And because it's September, we have a 1000 Shen postcard from September. How appropriate. All this horse needs is a little horn in there, and they could be a unicorn. And then we have this one here. It says, this card is from the Opera House. So Mindy is great at going to different museums and live productions and things. So it's always nice to see what she's gone to see and what she's been doing. All right, let's bring in a little levity, because this postcard, which is kind of a baggage tag from the Halifax airport, comes from Mindy in Nova Scotia. And so it's got some beautiful stamps on it, but she always sends in a weekly, or she has been sending in a weekly dad joke. And this is that dad joke. My dad was bragging about his new hearing aid. He said, state of the art, cost me a fortune. I'm like, Oh, awesome. What type is it? He said 230. Guess maybe that hearing aid isn't working 100%. There are the stamps. And that's our haha from Mindy. So thank you for that. And I'm glad that it got here on time. We've had a few weeks where the dad joke has gone missing somewhere and showed up the next week. But luckily our mail normally only takes about 2 days to get to each other. The next card that I have comes from Ambre in France. And so it's one piece. It's wonderful. I'm so glad to get that. She's also put a one-piece stamp and a beautiful turtle stamp. Beautiful colors in the French stamps there. Decorated up nicely. There's some exciting news on here, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to share it, and it's not my news to share. She shared it with me, so I'm going to say I'm happy for you and wishing you all the best. But as far as making it public to the world, I will leave that to you because it's not my place to share. The next comes from Eric in Hong Kong. We got an envelope with a letter. I won't read that. We also got a couple postcards. This one and this one. And on the back, you didn't write anything, Eric. So thank you for the postcards, though, and the images. Really like that. And the letter, too, also explains a few things, so thank you for that. Where should we go next? How about to Debbie in Ohio? She sent this envelope. We have some more of the 24 stamps you can see here. These seem to be the most common ones to send, but it's nice to see the block continuing. And inside here we have a bunch of stamp items. So I'm going to leave that for next week to show you. So I'll put that aside. Speaking of things for next week to show you, Steve from Australia has sent this envelope. Now I have to go through and this envelope and this envelope. I have to go through and see exactly what's in them because I know some of them I might be able to share with you now. Others are scheduled for the giveaway. So what I can share, I will share next week. Otherwise, you will have to wait and see. I am thinking that maybe there are some things in here for the giveaway this month. And if so, I'll show you those next week. That brings me to the last item, also from Steve in Australia. And it is his Limerick, his fun and frolics. And so let's get on with it. Let's get on with it again. All hail, mighty Canadian postcard king, emperor of the Canadian realm of stickers and washi tape. It has been claimed that Big Ben chimed no fewer than 14 times today. Such an ominous omen can only mean that yet another week has sped past faster than a falcon, and thus it must be once more for time for Friday fun and frolics. That being the case, I feel it is my duty to start off merriment by spreading a little joy with a traditional limerick to amuse the most noble knights and any scurvy peasants who may be lurking about. A hero of today's literary masterpiece may not be a household name, unlike the product he invented, which is known throughout the land. The product could be considered somewhat polarizing and perhaps even divisive. But like it or hate it, you certainly know what it is. So without further ado, may I humbly present historical legendary limerick number 35. 35, wow, so far. And let me try to pronounce this. Hippolyte Mega Mourier. And the limerick goes limerick goes like this. Hippolyte was a bit of a nutter who scorned the high price of pure butter. It's a cheap price we need so the folks we can feed, or that's what I once heard him mutter. Now, who is Hippolyte? And now a few fun facts about Hippolyte Mege Mourier and his magical product. Mege Mourier, an invention, was the winning entry in a competition held in 1869 by the French Emperor Napoleon III, who wanted to find a cheaper way of feeding his noble knights and even the poor peasants. Although Mege Mourier product had won the prize in the competition, it didn't win the hearts of either the French knights, whose mothers traditionally smell of raspberries, nor a peasant who fart in your general direction. That's a Monty Python reference. and the inventor died in relative obscurity and almost penniless. It took some years, 2 world wars, where strict food rationing was implemented and a lot of further development before the product reached a point where it became accepted by the masses. Continuing developments have tended to improve not only the flavor but also the health and nutritional aspects of the product, so much so that Mèche Mourière would be unlikely to recognize today's version of his invention were he to be presented with it or given a list of its ingredients. Number 2, the original name of the product comes from the Latin word for beef fat. Its main ingredient at the time, beef fat was his main ingredient at the time, and the Greek word meaning purely white due to its color and luster. At one point in time, though, the most common color of this product was pink rather than white. Today, it most frequently comes in various shades of yellow. Number 3, the Dutch company Jurgens, pronounced almost like hens, purchased the patent from Mèche Mourière in 1871, becoming the first company to manufacture the product on a large scale. So, Your Majesty, nobles, knights, and peasants, have you yet deciphered the clue to determine what it was that Mèche Mourière invented back in 1869? That case cast him into the pit of oblivion. The other question, of course, is, how do you pronounce it correctly? My task now complete. All that is left for me to do is to wish you, the noble knights and scravacious peasants, a wonderful weekend. All the best. Chief Peasant in Court Limericks, Steve in Australia. Oh, and I nearly forgot. The product he invented by Hippolyte Mèche Mourière is, of course, margarine. But I'm sure you knew that already. If not, spread the word. Free dad joke for you. Sorry, Mindy. So there you go. Spread the word. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know about the inventor. I didn't know about all the products that went along with it and how it got from there to here. I do know all about margarine. And how else do you pronounce margarine? I didn't know that there was another way. So if you know, phonically, put it in the comments how you pronounce margarine. Well, that is a wonderful week of mail by a whole bunch of wonderful people. Once again, there are a few things that we have for next week as far as stamps to show you. And there's still some adventures that will be coming out periodically for you guys to see. And we'll even get maybe a little post-crossing in at some point. For right now, though, that's it. Have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Bye. I almost forgot. One more thing arrived in the mail this week, and I'm wearing it. Ari thought it was his. He opened it up while I was away, so I didn't get to show you an unboxing, but it's another Temu purchase. And of course, it's this shirt. Let me see if I can get it in there. And it's traditionally here. We speak both languages of French and English, and sometimes we mix them together. So I thought it was a very appropriate shirt for many people that live here in New Brunswick.